All right, everybody, I promised you that I would save the best until last. I think you'll agree that I have. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with things, this week we've been looking at a selection of very interesting race cars from Audi UK's own personal super secret storage facility, which we have been very kindly invited to. Now, we have looked at a very, very close replica of the Audi 80 Akai saloon car. We have looked at a genuine Audi A4 Super Tourer. And in the last video, I'll have shown you this, an R15 show car, basically. It's sort of real, but not a race car. Today, we're looking at this. Now, I don't think it is any understatement whatsoever to say that this is one of the most successful and greatest racing cars of all time. This is a real, genuine, race-proven Audi R8. Now, the R8 story, believe it or not, began 20 years ago. And it went through a few different evolutions before it sort of became the formula that we kind of now know and love. They dabbled with a coupe version, the R8C, before settling on this open-top formula. It's a very simple, very elegant thing, and this particular car has a wonderful, fantastic history, and that's the reason that it has been kept by Audi UK. Now, this very car was constructed in 2002, and this finished second at the 24 Hours of Le Mans that year. It then raced the following year in 2003, and those of you who know your history will know that that is the year that the Bentley Speed 8 won, a car which actually allegedly is based largely on the R8 anyway, and is of course one of their VAG stablemates. This car that year ran out of fuel due to a communications error. It happens to the best of us. In 2004, a privateer decided that he wanted to win at Le Mans. And the best way to do that was going to be in an Audi R8. So he partnered with Audi UK and they fielded two cars. This car's sister was 41 seconds shy of victory that year at Le Mans. This car itself, unfortunately, had a bit of an incident and inserted itself into the Porsche curves and needed a sort of mid-race rebuild. And that really is what made the original R8 so great. Audi knew the nature of the beast that they were going up against. They knew that long endurance races needed a car that wasn't just fast and wasn't just durable, because being durable isn't good enough. All sorts of things can happen in a big endurance race, as Toyota unfortunately found out in the last few years. When something goes wrong, as it often will, you need to be able to fix it, you need to be able to fix it fast, and doing so is the key to winning at Le Mans. For that very reason, Audi constructed this whole car to be extraordinarily modular. It is told that a skilled team replaced the entire rear transaxle of one of these cars in just over 3 minutes. That is incredible. Earlier this year, I did a video with the cute little Audi A2 that proved to be a bit of a hit. Now, there was a section in that video where I took the bonnet off that car because a lot of people seem to think you can't actually do that. And for that very reason, the video was picked up and shared by Jalopnik, who managed to get me an extra about 25,000 views. So, cheers guys, thank you very much. Today, I'm going a little bit further. We have undressed the R8 for you. This, to me, is an incredibly special moment and special thing. I have never seen a car like this, certainly not up close, and the people here have been super cool about allowing us to just get basically unfiltered access to this car. There is only one thing, unfortunately, stopping this car from being started. It doesn't currently have an ECU, which is a rather important part of obviously getting it running. But everything else is kosher, legit. This is real, genuine, honest to goodness racing heritage. So I'm coming a little bit closer down, and I'll talk you guys through, because you see, until I saw the car this way, seeing it like this changed my mind, changed my idea about how the car was put together. You see, I often sort of saw it as being like, so we've got the R15 here for comparison, and I saw it like you know, this is the car, this is part of the bodywork. It's not though, is it? It's not. That down here is just a cover. When you see the car like this, and this section here is really solid, looks a bit like a Formula car, doesn't it? Like an open wheel Formula 1 car, but just wider and bigger and meaner and tauter. Now you notice also the different sort of types of carbon around here, because this obviously is super, super strong structural. This then, because it's simply an air duct, much, much lighter, goes in from the front here, straight through to the brakes, which are carbon brakes. Big old solid splitter here at the front. Inboard push rod suspension. Very cool, very amazing. Access panels here for driver and technically passenger. Naturally, big old beefy slicks on here. These might be sort of show tyres, but I mean, they're past their sell by anyway. Double wishbone suspension, of course, with I think a torsion bar below both front and rear. Huge air intake down the side, which goes straight to the back, which whacks these, I suppose it's a intercooler. Air intakes, which look suspiciously like a 6x9 sort of car speaker. One thing we found out today was that this section here was added after an unfortunate incident with another car, and basically this is to prevent or to protect the driver in the event of a rollover accident. It was found that essentially this here isn't potentially strong enough on its own, so this was added to ensure that in the event of a rollover accident that the driver would be completely and totally protected. Heart of the beast is a 3.6 litre twin turbo V8 producing over 600 horsepower. I don't have exact figures because exact figures were never ever published, and they varied from year to year depending on the regs as well. Like I said in the intro, the key thing about the R8 is how easy it is to change things about. 2 of us can get that front section off easily. 3 of us removed this. One big piece in the back of the car. I don't want to think what this is worth, but it's pretty serious, it's pretty solid. You can see all the parts here which duct air in where it's needed. This is amazing. I also love how just rough and ready so many parts of the car are. There's a real beauty to the functionality of it. Nothing's on this car, it doesn't need to be. Nothing's here to look pretty. It's all here to do a job. It's all here to serve a purpose. So if you direct your eyes down here, or more likely if Darren directs the camera down here, the weak part of the car when it was built is this 6-speed sequential box. Audi knew that was going to be a weak point, and they knew there wasn't an awful lot that they could do about it. So what they did was make sure that in the event that it broke, it was very, very easy to change around. So you notice there are quick release hoses and fittings all around here. And this entire section of the car can be taken out and replaced. So in the pits, you would have basically another rear of car completely ready to go. This thing's spectacular. It's stunning. It's just, look, you either get it or you don't. And to see something like this up close and personal, I'm so glad that the guys here have let me bring you lot along for this little look. If you come down here, you see the manifolds all wrapped. There's a pretty short path that the air takes as well. So your air is going to be pulled in through these scoops up here. So if you go that side, Darren, you'll see the big scoops which are on top of the car. You see from around the side, you'll see those kind of pronounced scoops which kind of pull the air in. So they'll grab that air, which is kind of forced down in. And that's one of the reasons the power figure changes, is that Audi say that the ram air effect of this car going at its 200 plus mile an hour top speed will produce more power. So it goes straight in here, through down to the turbos, up through, fed through this intercooler, or yeah, whatever it is. It is an intercooler, sorry. Up through and straight down. Interesting to note that this is labelled as FSI power rather than TFSI, which is what it technically is in Audi parlance. But it's just all there, laid bare. I, as you guys do, probably get tired of looking at plastic engine bay covers and things like that, and sort of just, you know, dressage on top of a car, and things are just there to just make it look pretty and, you know, make it look nice and sanitized. This is not. This is the real deal. One day I hope to see something like this in motion. And that'll be cool, but yeah, this is a pretty important, pretty cool car. I know I do a lot of Audi content on the channel. It's not by any design, it's just that they're very nice to me and they have a lot of cool cars that it just happens I want to drive. But this this stuff here today seemed very, very worth my time. So please tell me which one of these you've enjoyed seeing the most. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Please like, comment below, subscribe if you haven't already. We'll see you for the next one. Bye-bye. Alrighty.
I'll go around the back.
I'll go around the back.
Right, okay. So you just tip forward.
Okay.
Over the wheel. You lined up there.
Not much is dark, is it? Can't see it there.
Does it need to slide back?
I think it sort of... Is it? Okay, so I'll go to the front. Is it unhinged on both sides? Yeah. Okay, maybe the front.
Yeah.
Oh,
but that's the thing.
feet down, so I can see it from there.
Okay.
So let me should try it.
Well, I know it can be a thankless task, but seeing as I've seen you work, thank goodness.
Especially if you created it work.
Well, yeah.
I suppose it's team effort. Keep going.
The cable definitely bracing the car.
Just give it a push. Give it a push there. Give it a good tap. There you go. Okay. Yeah. Oh, not quite race car smooth, but near enough. I've mentioned to him.